Looky here. This is probably a mid-80s Carrier package heat pump. And pretty much still working. Fan motor went out and the contactor was toast. It's very rotted, but it's still working. One reason they still work is because these capacitors are huge. Look at that. As long as my hand. Those capacitors never go bad. That's a better capacitor than anything on the shelf today. Still, as old as it is. Yeah, this is kind of stuck on one side. Probably from cycling on the high pressure limit. Yeah. So I've got the new fan motor in there. And these are the 3-year mounts that I had to adapt. Last time I put a motor in this was about 8 years ago. But I didn't have a saw with me because I drove my personal truck, so I had to clearance this right here. At least you can check the bearings right here now. I had to take the Carrier cap off of there and bend those arms down. A lot of people have done that. Don't like to do that for work, but this is family. Old compressor. I think those were Carlisle's, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so it's working. Look at this. This freaking thing's actually spinning still. And I believe that contactor was original because I had to peel the silicone off of the screw to take it off. Just these units, 50 HQs or whatever this is a, if I can read it, 50 YQ 024 300. Oh, it's just a 2-ton. Wow, a true 2-ton now. So this would be like a, almost like a 3-ton now. But that sucker's probably near original. They used to go bad. I can't believe that's still in here. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe she doesn't use the heat. I don't know. Yeah, that might have been original. I don't think she runs it too cold in there. So, I got some close-up pictures that I'll put on it. Oh, look at this. That's custom right here. Dang. I have to seal that up. Yeah, but, oh, the interesting thing on these things is look down. I'll put a picture on the screen. No accurators like they use on the newer ones. Doesn't have a TXV either. It has a single piston in that housing right there in between the indoor and outdoor coil. Pretty much indestructible. Never had to fix restrictions on these things. Yep, so yep. Alright, well I just got to finish a few things before the sun goes down and get heading home. This is kind of, had to drive back across the town after work. Okay guys, I downloaded the service manual for that 50YQ here. Installation, startup, and service instructions. Let's take a gander at this. And the first thing I noticed down here is the copyright for this, 1979. So that means this manual was first made in 79, so I guess maybe that model is that old. So here's that unit right here. It's got the 50 YQ 24, which is the one we're working on. It's the heat pump. Go down through here. You can see another look at it right here. You can see that is definitely the design. Goofy ass condensate drain. I think it came with those tubes. Now, something of interest on these units, I was showing you that piston actuator in the liquid line that's just simply between the indoor and outdoor coils, and here it is, outdoor coil, indoor coil, and you just have the, actually has strainers on here, it says, but look at this, cooling piston, heating piston, and it's, so right now it'd be in the heating, heating cycle. And then over here reverses it to the cooling cycle, so refrigerant goes this way, hits the strainer. It's interesting how that piston works. It must be two different piston sizes for the heating versus cooling mode. So you go down here, I noticed they had a close-up of that actuator assembly, and right here it is. Liquid line strainers. They don't have any filters in there. Hers didn't. pretty sure it didn't, and it's still running after all these years. So protect actuators. So here's your nut, your other flare nut, and the lines, and then you got here strainers right here, and then you got your cooling piston when the flow is going that way, and then when you're in heating mode, that's a heating piston. And those that know, basically whatever direction these go, there's a seat in here that matches the shape of this, and then when they go the other way, they usually when they hit the other way, it kind of stops to where the refrigerant can flow around freely, and they have these little raised areas, so the refrigerant goes through the middle and around when it's in the opposite mode. So it basically doesn't really become much of a restriction. The main restriction will be the tube in there. So heating, it restricts through the seats and goes only through the center, and then flows everywhere all the way around. And when you go the other way around, it does the same thing. It seats when it pushes in the seat in here, and it only flows through the center and then flows all the way around. So you get the whatever size they're calibrated for. Pretty interesting. Could have used this yesterday, but I did it exactly like this, about 2/3 in, 1/3 out, and that worked pretty good. There's a troubleshooting chart at the end. But yeah. So, and there's a date, I think, of 5/79. So this, obviously, this print of the manual installation was copyrighted in 1979. So that's how old the design is. It's at least that old. If it's a revision, then it could be older, but I'm pretty sure it's not older than that. This probably is the first revision. So, yeah. So I think that is a 1982, which this is. Had a U2, which should mean 1982. And it does make sense. So anyway, yeah, an old sucker, still running, and it's still quieter than a Goodman. That is for sure.